Our expectation, sitting here in Australia, with as much influence as we can exert on what happens with the SEC chair, certainly the whole industry has been rooting for Gensler to be removed. And the promises that were made to the crypto industry in the United States were exactly that. The expectation is that Gary Gensler, if he doesn't fall on his own sword, he himself will be removed as one of the first kind of acts of government for Mr. Trump and his administration. Certainly the industry, as I say, have been calling out for it. And you heard from the piece that went before, they've been very active in their involvement in the United States in their election cycle. And this is one of the outcomes. Certainly under Gensler, the SEC have been very aggressive in their actions towards the cryptocurrency industry. We've seen a proliferation of Wells notices towards businesses involved in crypto, including some of Australia's own with Immutable. They recently received a Wells notice from the SEC. So we're certainly looking for a less aggressive action coming out of the SEC with hopefully a more pro-crypto, as you say, chair.
Ultimately, Caroline, is this going to lead to wider adoption, which is what the industry wants?
Yes, I think so. Certainly, Senator Loomis in July of this year had put forward a bill saying that the United States should allocate 5% of global Bitcoin into its own treasuries. They're looking to kind of replicate what they've done with gold, with Bitcoin. Absolutely, that is driving up activity and price with Bitcoin. So I think more widely, we can expect to see this becoming a far more mainstream asset, a far more mainstream topic for discussion.
What happens to this thicket of lawsuits involving the SEC, whether it's XRP, whether it's Kraken? What's the outcome there, and to what degree are they going to set precedents and could help or hinder develop the regulatory framework?
Yeah, I think that the industry has been, particularly the United States, has been arguing against this regulation by enforcement approach that we've seen under the previous administration. While, we can't predict what exactly is going to happen, certainly the expectation would be that these lawsuits would be paused or whatever the language is around that. Because where would the appetite be to continue to pursue? It would go very much counter to the language and the expectation of a Trump administration who has spoken about Bitcoin itself being mined predominantly out of the United States. That's a position that Trump has put forward as part of his election campaign. So it seems very counterintuitive to then be pursuing the cryptocurrency industry. Certainly, American crypto businesses moved overseas in recent years, moved out of the United States to other jurisdictions because of what they felt was this regulation by enforcement behavior. And with that change in the SEC, with that change in kind of the direction that the industry, the wind is blowing for the industry, we would expect to see certainly a return of a lot of that activity to the United States.